After trying for 4 years, Claire and her husband were happy to announce that they would be having a baby. But with great excitement, there also came great concern. Claire was diagnosed with stage 4 colon and metastatic liver cancer. But she had been sharing her journey on Facebook, and with much support from her community, Claire is creating awareness and spreading hope. A true inspiration to so many that's going through the same thing. Joining us now in studio is Claire Stoop, and a very warm welcome to you.
Thanks so much for having me.
Tell us about your story first and foremostly. How did you find out that you had cancer?
Well, I was, as you said, I was pregnant. A lot of my symptoms were masked by my pregnancy and explained away by it. You know, at the lovely 7-month mark, I thought I had a very mild case of piles, delightfully, and I just sort of dismissed it as that. I did a bit of research and I thought, oh, maybe it's something, but I read up on symptoms and it didn't really sound like I had anything to worry about. Doctors also said, you know, oh, much too young for this type of thing, but let's just monitor it. And then I gave birth to my beautiful daughter, Lorian. We tried for long to conceive a fertility treatment for years. And then just before I went back to work, I thought, oh, I must just sort this out. It was just a bit irritating. And it was actually 1 year ago, today exactly, that I woke up in the middle of the night with a terrible excruciating pain in my abdomen. And I called the next day to go see the doctor. I went in for a colonoscopy, and the same day I was rushed in to MRI, CT scan, and then I was diagnosed. I was told.
What have been some of the physical changes that you've noticed on your body itself?
From treatment?
From the treatment that you then receive after that? Yes.
Well, treatment is very intense, and because I'm young, they obviously put me on quite a strong dose of chemo. I was on, I'm still receiving chemo. I'll go every Monday for treatment. The initial symptoms of the one chemotherapy that I was on, oxaliplatin, has caused extreme nerve damage, peripheral neuropathy for me. So I can't feel my hands or my feet. I have to wear slippers now. Another one of the drugs that I'm on, Erbitux, it's quite a new drug, ridiculously expensive, thank goodness for medical aid, but it gave me a terrible acne, and I'm on a very strong antibiotic for it, but it's like a fine acne. It's all over my body. I've lost my fingernails, loss of appetite. Thankfully, I haven't really lost my hair. A lot of people, they think, you know, if you have cancer, you look a certain way, and you know, people often say to me, oh, we don't believe you that you have stage 4. You look so good. And I don't think I look that great, but I suppose compared to the mainstream idea of what cancer looks like, I don't necessarily fit that image because I do still have my hair, although it is starting to break now, and I'm getting a bit of a receding hairline. Another thing I've got is facial hair, which I never had. Never had that before.
And how does that affect your relationship as well as your young baby that you have?
That was, I have a very wonderful husband, Justin, and he's been an incredible source of support and love, and he's stepped in hugely to help with Lorian and around the house. He's always been very good at multitasking, thankfully. It has been very hard for me with my daughter. I had to stop breastfeeding very suddenly with the treatment. I found out, and then the next week was starting chemo, and then I had to stop. So that was very difficult for both me and for my daughter. But when I was getting very intensive treatment in that week that I had the very bad chemo, I couldn't even hold my daughter for a week. That was very difficult for me because, you know, we've been trying for so long for a child. I had this idea in my head of what it would be like to be a mom and the type of mom I wanted to be, you know, and that's had to change.
Now, you've done something extraordinary. You are sharing your story on Facebook and on a blog. Tell us about that journey.
Well, I was getting asked by people all the time what is happening and what is going on, and I found I was having to repeat myself a lot. So I thought a good idea, I'll just create a Facebook page, family, friends would read it, and it's become quite something. Actually, it's almost like my diary of this journey that I've gone through, and I've documented a lot.
There's this on the
Yes.
On the screen there. Claire's Light.
Yes.
The community.
Claire's Light. And it's, I mean, when I was diagnosed, I had a moment of panic, obviously. Well, I first laughed because I didn't believe it. Yes. I think I cried for about a day. And then I realized that there's no point in that, in crying about something and getting depressed about something I can't change, and attitude is everything. And then I kicked into hyperdrive, and I started to share, and I've been doing a lot of other things as well for my treatment.
What sort of other things are you doing?
I went to see a spiritual healer. I meditate. I do kinesiology treatments, intravenous ozone. There's a treatment in Cape Town, sonophotodynamic therapy, SPDT, which uses sound and light in combating cancer.
Yes,
I've been doing that. I've changed my diet completely. I eat only organic food, no dairy, no genetically modified foods, no pesticides, no chemicals, no preservatives, no sugar, no meat. Yeah, so pretty much nothing. Thank goodness I don't have taste buds.
But how do you remain so positive, though? That's a fantastic thing.
I feel maybe it comes naturally to me. I do have my down days, and I think it would be unusual if I didn't.
Yes.
But I really have. I have my daughter and my husband to be positive for. I think it's as much for me as for my family, my parents, my siblings. We do a lot, and I've got a huge support network. My extended family, great friends. And I think that really does help me a lot in terms of having that support. And I know a lot of people don't have that. They don't have that same level of support that I do. So that helps.
Claire, all the best of luck. And your Facebook page, where can people reach it?
It's on Facebook. It's called Claire's Light. I document everything there. I do respond to messages. I know oncologists refer people to my page. And I do try to get back to people, giving them also a bit of advice from my perspective, just sharing my story, I suppose, with them.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us, Claire.
Thank you for having me.
That was Claire Stu. Positivity, that's the thing that you should do.